trust your intuition? Do you go with your gut? Do you trust that inner spiritual voice? Well, we do. So welcome to the Two Psychics and Intuitive Teachers Hour. And we're here tonight. We're going to handle any questions that you want to send us on the feed. And we're going to talk about intuitively deciding what gifts you should keep and what gifts you should not. So let's get started right away with a really good suggestion Chris had. We were speaking with a friend who got a Ouija board for Christmas. You know who you are. And yeah, I mean, they sold quite a few of these things over the holiday. A lot of people don't understand what what happens when you're involved with a Ouija board. So you want to take over a little bit with it?
Very bad mojo. Okay, the reason we don't like Ouija boards, honestly, is because it's the intent that goes into this piece of board. And you're asking, basically with your eyes closed and your heart wide open, for anything and anyone from the other side that wants to talk to you, whether it's light, it's dark. You didn't center, you didn't pray, you didn't protect. You're just letting anything down the street walk into you and say, hey, how you doing there, sister girl? That's like walking down Broad Street naked. How many people are going to do that? I know I'm not. Besides the fact they'd arrest me, but seriously, you're not going to do those type of things. So why would you bring that into your home where you sleep, where you eat, where your main core energy resides, where your children and your animals and your partner are? Bad. And if you get one or if somebody's using one, whether it's written, digital, a board,
an image of one,
any which way, shape, size, we've seen it all. And we've had a couple families where the children kept bringing it in different formats. They rolled it up on a little piece of paper. They put it on the back of, like, they took a picture with their phone. They did all kinds of crazy things.
Actually, the last house I cleared with Chris was a huge blanket, and it was the whole image of the Ouija board hanging on the wall. Oh, God. And the board just couldn't figure out why the family kept having So we did dispose of the blanket in a proper way, and the house is cleaned. It's hard to explain specifically why certain items are so dangerous, but Chris explained it best. It's like just doing something high risk. Don't go using those Ouija boards if you got them for Christmas. So this is definitely a gift. We do not want you to re-gift. We would like you to just dispose of it, preferably destroy it so nobody else uses it.
How about you all have fire pits? It's snowing this weekend. Go have a fire pit in the backyard and use the Ouija board as your fireworks.
Which, by the way, all the snow on our screen is compliments of Chris. She really wants this storm that's in the Philadelphia area to waffle us. God, don't ask me why.
I have little people. They love snow. They get so excited. They do like a dance all in their rooms and at the windows. They look like little snow people with their little faces pressed up against the window. Mommy, it's snowing. I see that.
I'd rather shoot myself. I'm hoping for no snow, but we're going to get it. Jill, Lori, Shauna, Lisa, thank you guys. I love having you all on board. Michelle, she's got a nice big question here, so we're going to throw it up and see if it's something we can address. My son, who is 19 years old, has had to deal with the death of a family member and young friends. As a result, he's suffering from clinical depression. Does he have a spirit guide that is helping him to get out of this depression? And does he have a lot of spirits around him? Okay, I'm going to take the part of this. Everybody has a spirit guide, but not all guides are good guides. Okay, first of all, God has assigned a guardian angel to each of us. Satan has assigned a guardian angel of darkness to each of us. So there are spirits always around us, always trying to influence us. If you think of the old cartoons, we had the good angel on one shoulder, the bad angel on the other, and a lot of people will say that's your inner ego, your struggle, you're this, you're that. Yes, it is. And it's also those spirits communicating, trying to guide you in that direction. However, your son does have good energy and good spirits around him that outnumber those that are trying to cause him harm. Who are you picking up?
I've got like a grandmotherly figure, an older woman, and I got a younger male.
I got the younger male, definitely.
And the younger male just feels like he's giving him the high fives and he's telling him it's going to get better. And the grandmother's just giving him all this love and trying to make him feel secure in his place in the universe, and that he hasn't lost everything that's meant anything to him. Because he just feels like there's one loss after another, and he just can't seem to get straight in his head where it ends. And he will start to get better, but he's going to have to take a little bit of time and realign his spirit with that of hope and releasing the death and the thought, the constant reminder of death. Because he's actually focusing on it and it's bringing it closer to him. Like we were saying before with the Ouija board, if the intent of darkness is there and you focus on it, that's why younger children and teenagers and 19-year-olds, they have these computer games that they play on their phones, on the Xboxes. They're so focused, and they have so much energy. Like when we did the kids shows, kids were calling me the next day going, Miss Chris, why are you going so slow? I said, well, because not everybody has a mommy that teaches them stuff like that. Oh, well, we got it the first time you said it. Just keep going. Like, you stop. And I was like, we had to go at everybody's speed. But little children, teenagers, 20-year-olds, they all still have that focused mind, and they can pick up that energy and recalibrate it almost like a prism. And they can send it out 10 times stronger than it came in. So if he's bringing in negativity and hurt, and he's sending out a rainbow of negativity and hurt. So he has to recalibrate the spiritual side, and that's what the grandmother's trying to do, is pull in love and trying to pull in the Holy Spirit for him. And the younger guy's trying to release him from any kind of feelings of he's at fault, because he's not. Right,
because the younger guy is somebody who felt like a brother to him.
Right.
And
very close to him.
Very close. And he really is also, it's almost like a warning, like he's like, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. He's trying to brighten him up, but he's trying to also pull him away from where he's at. I see your son in a dark corner, surrounded by a lot of darkness. I'm not talking spiritually speaking now. I'm talking emotionally and in his group of friends. It's not, he's not hanging out with the right kind of people, Mommy.
Like is attracting
like, and he's very dark, very upset. So he's hanging out with dark, upset other young men, which are only going to create more problems for him. So if you can guide him, keep praying for him, keep holding him by the hand.
Get him into some kind of activity or group that is light, is fun. That's not computer oriented, like that doesn't going to drag him into a rabbit hole, that brings him into a group setting.
Try to find some kind of pastor his age that, close to his age that he can relate to. Also, that would help a great deal. Michelle, good luck with all of that. That is really a heavy situation, but in this, it does help us explain why certain games that children or you might have even gotten, toys, objects, these are all things that we put our energy into, and as Chris says, we send it back out like a prism. So it's that beacon we talk about in other shows, where it's what you're focusing on that's going back out into the world. You're focusing on the darkness, it's going to just go, it's going to keep perpetuating.
That's why we say to bring in the light and start with the prayer first, because that'll stop it cold in its tracks. And if you can't even do that, just do the Jesus, Jesus, Jesus prayer. Because if for somebody that's under attack or just they feel like they're underwater of darkness, that'll clear the area faster and make all of the little critters go.
Actually, when Chris said that, it really just like all this stuff came rushing into me. And I hope you all understand this is really important what we're telling Michelle. Think about it for yourselves also. When Chris said to Jesus, 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 that is saying the Lord's name 3 times with reverence. You don't just say it, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. You want to say it with intention, reverence, love. Feel those words. Feel the Lord's name. And say it in your son's room. Bless it with holy water. And just focus and say the Lord's Prayer. And you do that every day as much as possible, 2, 3, 4 times a day. And you'll really start seeing a difference. He might actually get angry. Do it when he's not around. But he still might get angry because this angry spirits and the energy that the anger energy wants to stay. But if he starts getting angry, that's actually a good sign. It means they're fighting because they know they're losing. Of course, they could go peacefully. That would be nice too.
Michelle,
Which is
I've
possible.
actually had that happen with one of my children. And I literally used to sit there every morning after he went to school and I'd spray it with holy water. And I'd sit there and have myself a little prayer fest at his door.
And it makes a big difference.
He went through hell. When I tell you hell for 2 weeks, he was fighting me, snarling at me, doing everything he could do to get me to go away. And I was like, okay, see, I'm not going anywhere. And I would send him back to his room because that's where I put all the light. So I'd go, oh, just go sit in your room and think about it.
And I know it's not easy to send a 19-year-old to his room, but he does come to the table to eat food. So do the same thing at your kitchen table. Do the same thing at your refrigerator. Everywhere do the bathroom. Everywhere your son is going to use his in path. Your house, his path. If he's got a video machine he uses, you do it to that machine. You do it as much as you can in your house. You will win. You're using God, love, and light. You will always win. We won the second Christ died on the cross. It's over. Now it's just a game.
And this, I have to tell you from Miss Nora, who shivers and shakes and goes, what I just saw.
Oh, I haven't shivered and shaken in a good 5 years, and she's still not getting over it. If you were there, you would have shivered and shaken on that particular house too, okay? Just once, I shook. Anyhow, let's go on.
I'm just teasing her, but seriously, one of the things they're looking for is to build fear. And if they can crack it and cause fear, that's their way in. That's the way in. So just go in it and know that you're protected. Ask St. Michael to come around. Haul him around everywhere you go.
Just grab him and take him.
Put his card right in your pocket. Learn his prayer. Come on, Mike. Let's go. St. Michael, let's roll. And he's like, oh, not her again.
He says that about her, never about me. Maria, hi from Collingswood. Thanks for joining us. Denise, thank you again for joining us. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we got Lauren. I have always struggled with trying to find my career path or soul purpose. I feel like I know what I am guided toward, but nothing specifically. And I end up just sort of feeling confused and lost. Ooh, I got something on that. And I am wondering if you could provide me with any insight or what it is I should be doing. Thank you. You might not thank us when we get done with you, honey. Okay, so Lauren, here's what's going on. You're attracting confusion. You're attracting upset because I'm getting a real serious injury that was done to you. I'm getting 4 years old. So by serious injury, it doesn't necessarily mean physical. It's serious to you at 4. You had to move. Your parents split up. You lost your doll and nobody gave a hoot. But whatever it was dramatic. It was at the age of 4. And you were left feeling very confused and unsure. And now that is who you are underneath everything else, underneath your organization, your beautiful presentation, your success in your job. Underneath all of that is a confused 4-year-old who is struggling. And you need to just kind of hug that little 4-year-old and tell her, it's okay. I'm an adult now. We're going to handle this together. There's a lot of techniques for that, comforting that inner child. bringing God's light, fill yourself up. Look at a picture of yourself at that age. If you remember the event, see the event again in your mind as an adult, and talk to yourself as an adult, talking to the little one and saying, it's all right. We made it. We're good. We don't need to be confused anymore. I'm here with you. Hold that little girl's hand and move on. And it will smooth out what's going on for you. That's what I'm picking up. But let's give Chris a shot here, see what she's grabbing.
I'm getting that there's a path that you're on, but it's not quite the right path, and that you have two other options. And I'm getting one's a whole nother path that is completely different from the one you're on. And there is even a V in that path. And you just have to find that path, because it's almost like you look across and you can see it, but you're like, I can't take that chance. That might not work out so well. And I get where you're at. It's got like a little bit of green grass, but it's really rocky and it's hard, and you feel like you keep stumbling. And I get, if you just jump on the other path, it's really even. It's got pretty flowers. It's all wide open. It's got beautiful overhanging trees. And then you come up to a V in the road, and you found an even prettier path that you like, that goes off near the water, and it's got, little water fall there, and you're just really thrilled.
So what's Chris talking about is how her and I, remember, this is a show that teaches. We are intuitive teachers, not just psychic mediums. And you can do this. Imagine in our mind the answer. We go up to source, which is God for us. We just connect to the all energy that we're all connected to. We pull down an image, and the image is usually paths. Now, you can jump to that path by holding that little girl's hand. You will find yourself on that path with power. Now, she will imagine in her mind what do the paths look like. And when they have lots of trees and greenery and nice pavement, that's a strong, good, happy road versus one that's dirt, gravel, not many trees, not much greenery. That's how we image it. And that's a real easy, simple way for you to image it also. For yourselves, anybody here. Michelle, hi. Nice to have you join us from Oxford. Lisa, always good to see you. Let's see. Chris Smith Cruz, welcome again, and Happy New Year to you too. Tina, always fun to have you on board with us too. Thank you so much. So before we jump on to another question, there's going to be a gift that you got. Everybody gets that gift, and it's like, you don't know what it is about this gift. It's nice. It's nice. But this just, I don't know what it is. It's not rubbing you right. That's your intuition, guys. That's the gut. That's saying, something's not okay here. That doesn't mean the person who gave you that gift gave it with anything but a loving heart. That just means the energy that particular physical item picked up along the way. We use psychometry, both of us. Anybody can use psychometry. It's you take an item and you hold it and you start imagining and feeling and reading the energy off the item. You don't realize you do this all the time. It's so natural and so automatic. We don't identify it, but it's real. So we got this item and we don't know why it doesn't feel right, because you're picking up some nasty energy. So a lot of times these beautiful little pieces of jewelry with all these little intricate things you picked up at a cute little kiosk in a mall, or somebody gave you, you don't realize it was made with child labor in China, say. So it has the energy of that child being forced to do stuff, forced labor. Or it just happened to be, it wasn't made that way. It was made in a very normal way with no real energy, just machinery processing, blah, blah, blah. But the UPS man was having a horrifically bad day, and he was handling that package. I mean, money brings up so much energy. It can be overwhelming if you allow yourself to read it. And that's why we're not really open every day to reading the energy off of items, because we've needed to shut that down. We'd be overloaded. But we are still sensitive to it, even though we're not completely open to it. Now, you can be completely open to it on demand, just like Chris and I. On demand, we can say, I want to know what's going on with the last person who touched this pen, and I can start reading it. So you get a gift, you really don't feel comfortable, but it's a nice gift, you want to keep it. Many of ways you can do that. I'm going to let Chris jump in here on starting to tell you how to clean up some of those items.
Okay, what you want to do is, say you get this beautiful scarf, and it's all your favorite colors, but something just a little winky about it. So what you want to do is, what I do is I put it on the table in front of me. And I do the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit over it. And I just cover it in white light in my mind. And I ask God to come and bring his light and love, peace, love, joy, and happiness. And I do figure eights. Let's see if you can get this.
Yeah.
Figure eights on the item. And the figure eights are the universal flow of peace and harmony. And we use it as a protection mechanism if we're trying to calm things down. And that's what I will do with an item that needs to be cleansed. And then if it's really still like a little icky, I get the holy water out and I got a little spray bottle. I mean, my kids know we have it everywhere in my house, in my work bag, on the countertop, it's everywhere. And they'll just come along, they'll spray the room, and then they'll just put it back down. It's no big deal. And then if you're still feeling a little weird, I usually take it and I put it out in the sunlight, because natural light will help energize it. And that's God's light. And you want to take anything out of the darkness and into the light. Mm-hmm. And if it's too cold and you can't put it out, or it's bad weather, put it in the sunlight, like open the window shade and get it into the sunlight.
Right on the windowsill.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be anything fancy.
And if you still feel uncomfortable, get rid of it. Just give it away.
Yeah.
Re-gift to Goodwill.
Re-gift, Goodwill. The teachers, they love little gifts in a bag.
Right. Okay, so I do want to get into...
Nora's going to teach you how to energy test something.
Okay, that's a good idea. We can throw that in right now. So you want to... Okay, well, this is slightly off. Okay, so you want to buy some vitamins, say. Now, this is a little off of gifts, but let's go over to the store now. You want some vitamin D because the doctor said you need more sunlight and there's not that much sun now. Fine, you go to CVS, you look at the vitamin section. It's massive. So you can say in the vitamin aisle, you can ask your own energy to say a quick prayer. Lord, I'm asking for your guidance today to pick out the right vitamin D bottle out of all of these, which will serve my body well. Okay, so you find where the vitamin Ds are. It's usually some in this section, some in this section, all depending on the company. So you stand in front of the first set and you say, is the vitamin D that will serve my body best? Oh, by the way, I automatically did it and didn't tell you. I put my two hands right on my solar plexus. Is the vitamin D that will serve my body best in this aisle? And I'll stand in the aisle. Excuse me for cutting off my head, but here are my hands. And I'll just feel, am I being slightly pulled forward or am I feeling slightly pushed back? And I do mean slight. And women, even if you're in high heels, you will feel that tilt. If you're tilting forward, yes, it is in this section. If you tilt back, it's not in that section. And I said aisle. You don't want to say aisle. Obviously, it's in that aisle. So you want to say section. If it's no, you go to the next section. Is the vitamin D I'm looking for that will best serve my body in this section? And then you narrow it down. You got your sections, but you have 3 shelves. Okay, is it in the top shelf, the bottom shelf, the middle shelf? And then you narrow it down. It's like 20 questions. But you can find what will serve you best. And I'm using vitamin D as an example because there are so many of them in the store. But you can do this with anything. You can do this with what pair of nylons is going to last longer and be better for me. because they can rip like that, or some pairs last forever. So you could pick up the one brand and actually put the brand against your stomach and feel whether it pushes you forward or back, and then pick up the second brand. If you don't move at all, it's neutral. But these are energy ways of testing, and I've done it. I have no problem standing in the middle of an aisle. My husband sometimes walks away, but usually he just stands there doing his thing because he knows it only takes a few moments. It's not really noticeable. I just look like I'm contemplating, and I always get what best serves me. So the same with gifts. When I'm giving gifts and I'm not sure which one piece do I want to pick. Do I want to pick this pretty necklace or this pretty necklace? I will say which one will serve the person I'm giving this gift to best. Which one has the nicest energy, or that will please them the most? Same thing. Boom, you get the answer because you're asking God, you're asking the universal source of energy, and you always will get answers. That's what we're trying to show you in all these shows. You can always get answers with or without us, although we do have fun answering them for you. Okay, let's see. Michelle. Hi, ladies. A few weeks ago, I was visited by my paternal grandfather. Nora, you were the one who confirmed that he was tugging at my blankets and was there because he was concerned about a family member with lung issues, my mom. Well, last week I was poked on the left shoulder blade a few times, and black shadows have been seen recently. Is any of this related? Okay, let's understand right away, guys. A black shadow does not mean a negative, bad energy. It just means there's an energy present. Do white good people show up like do they show up in white energy versus dark energy? No, it's really energy is just moving. It's there. It's mostly the angles that they show up at. So if you have an energy that's moving very gracefully versus an energy that's moving sharp, that is more, at least for me. Well, how about you?
I just see little gray streaks a lot of times.
Yeah, and it's like, so see, like a gray, it doesn't mean it's bad to us. We see sharp energy. We know that's bad. Yeah. But we also use our intuitive footprints, which I talk about in this book and will be talking about a lot in my third book. We use our intuitive energy to know right away whether it's an angry, dangerous energy versus just an energy that's there to communicate. But I'm not getting negative at all. This whole time I was reading the area.
I'm getting that he's just there warning you. And I get it, your grandfather, your pop-pop, he's just there trying to, he knows he's got your attention. He's like, hey, I can use this. She gets it.
Okay. Let me see. I did want to cover a few other things, guys, before we jump into more questions. We did talk about video games real quick. If your children have video games that you're not crazy about them playing, mature audiences want, stuff like that, but everybody does it, Mom. What's the big deal, Mom? Do what Chris was saying earlier for Michelle. Just bless the games, bless the machines, say the Lord's Prayer, sprinkle some holy water on it. You will be surprised
how much they don't work.
I was going to say it, Dave. You took the words out of my mouth. You literally take it down. Or they get bored. The Lord can get them to be bored. And you can even pray, please get them bored with this game, Lord. I'm asking you to just have them tired of it.
Or it just erases off the hard drive.
Strange things have happened. You guys have seen how much difficulty we have technically with this show. And that's because we do a lot of good work. The dark side doesn't want it happening, so it does interfere. We have to pray these machines up and work really hard to keep them going. And this is a brand new system. I mean, at 3:00 today, I was back on the phone with my IT guy. Please, it's doing it again. I'm going to put his kids through college. So before we go on, I just want to tell you, there is a bit of a change in schedule for Chris and I. We have both love doing this every week. But yeah, we have to accommodate our schedules a little bit differently. So we're going to most likely be going to just twice a month. The next show will be January 24th. It will not be next week. We know you understand. Chris has a big family and lots of beautiful children. And I'm working on the third book. I'm getting prepared for my trip to Bangkok. I am speaking, if I can speak right, at the spiritual
She's
and
practicing with you guys.
Right, with the spiritual and psychological conference. We have our show coming up in February. There's so much going on. I actually recently left my job just to focus on moving forward and bringing this material out into the world. So we know you understand and support us in just doing the show twice a month. And we look forward to making that you're there with us then too.
And if you still want to be a guest, just fill out the form. And we'll be happy to have guests on as you guys fill in the form and tell us what you want to talk about.
Yeah, give us a few show ideas. We would love to know, because to us, we want to teach. We don't want to just keep reading, you guys. We want to teach you how to do it yourself, because intuition is an extremely useful tool. You don't need us, although we like you needing us, especially Chris. Chris really loves you needing her. Where's our agenda thing? So I can pull up your phone number. It disappeared. What's your phone number, Chris? There it is.
It's 856.
There we go.
534-9715.
So if you want a reading with Chris, you just give that phone number a call and she'll be happy to.
Or you can text me.
Yeah, text her. She'll be happy to do it.
And we have some other cool ideas for shows, and we want your feedback on them. We can talk about crystals, colors, aromatherapy. We can teach on all these subjects. We can talk about feng shui.
She can, because she's a feng shui master. Me, I can just follow along and tell you how it's helped me. But Chris is the master with that.
We could teach hands-on healing, but that requires us to
actually be in a room with you.
We have to exchange energy with you, so that's a little funky this way. But we could do a whole lot of different things. We could do some more children's broadcasts. We would like to teach the children a little bit more, because they just have so much fun and they just bring us so much joy.
Also, we're very open to speaking about spiritual topics. So just give us some ideas. Again, go online. Here's a website. There is a form. You can go online to be a guest, or you can just give us some show ideas. And remember, you need to be signed up for the email to receive an invitation to the live show in Philadelphia in February 18th.
February.
Yeah, Chris and I will be reading the entire room on that day, as well as doing some teaching and talking there. So let's get right back here. We got caller. I feel like there is a message from the other side. Can you tell if this is true and what the message is? Caller's been with us a long time.
There's a male, and he's talking to you about finance and your health. And he's telling me that there's going to be a few financial, he's showing me a zigzag. The changes are going to be like over here and then over there. And then there's 3 curves in the road, and then it goes straight and it goes up. So there's 3 changes, I think 2 or 3 changes that he's showing us. And he's telling me that the finances will go up. It'll get a lot better. And the health, he's telling me to just be wary about your stress level and how much you're trying to get done, because he's saying you're like pushing too much too fast. You just keep running. Okay? So I hope that helps you.
I hope that helps. Denise, I love your question. It works right into tonight's show. I have a strong intuition at times, but I'm having a hard time with it lately. Everything's ebbs and flows. Everything is. Even our spirituality. It's like at any given time, you can't tell me anything that would jolt my faith. And then at other times, I'm struggling. The love of our spouse or our significant other, that ebbs and flows. Everything does. Don't make it wrong. Just relax. It'll come right back to you. Sometimes it can get held up because you're having emotional things. For example, when my dad passed away just in November, there was no way I could be able to do a show right after that. And even now, I'm not on my game yet. There's that emotional sadness that's holding back part of my own intuition. So our emotions affect us. Our physical well-being affects us. You're sick, it's going to not be as strong. Now, here's a dangerous thing I'm going to tell you. If you drink, it opens up. So be very careful. If you do drugs, it opens up. Be very careful. And it opens up to very dark, very dangerous energies. Do not mess around like that. Do not try to tap into the intuition when you are altered in any way. But you'll be fine, sweetie. Don't pick on yourself. It will reopen. And sometimes it reopens with the more spiritual you are. Edgar Cayce, many people came to him. For those who don't know who Edgar Cayce is, he was called the American Psychic. Phenomenal, most documented psychic there is in the world. He's known worldwide. His library of all his readings are in Virginia Beach. Many people said, how can I do what you do? And he said, become more spiritual. The more you pray, the closer you are to God, the more your gifts open up. So just start praying. Don't even ask for the gifts. Just pray. Just make a connection with God. Because as Chris and I say, you are connecting to everything when you're doing this work. You're open and you're accepting that information from everything. So you have a good, strong spiritual connection. You're going to have that good, strong intuition, those instincts, that ability to read energy. It's all there for everybody.
And just knowing how to listen to your gut and trust yourself is a big part of it, because a lot of people say, oh, I know I should have listened.
Yeah. How many times, right?
I don't. Well,
you know, you should have listened.
If you're not going to listen to yourself, you're not going to listen to me.
Us. Exactly. All right, Jill. Jill, I love dreams. So I'm glad you asked this. And if anyone else wants another show on dreams, you just say so and we'll have another one. I had a dream last night that mom and dad passed away, but not in the right order. What does that mean? Okay. I want to handle it one way, but I'm going to let Chris handle it her way. Go ahead.
Well, if they're still alive,
they're not.
Okay. Well,
because she also said not in that order, right? So you don't have to be psychic. You just have to be attentive and pay attention, guys.
Well, I was going to.
No. Go ahead.
That doesn't have our abilities to try and help them figure it out.
Okay.
If you're not sure if the person has passed over, the fastest way to figure it out, whether it's about a dream or it's just a feeling that you're getting that there's a spirit trying to contact you and you're not sure who they are, just go to your center and just quietly ask, why were they passed over? Why were they shown in the wrong order? And it might be because what they're telling me when I ask them that is the emotional sending, the way they went emotionally was more graphically on your heart than the way they actually went. And that you haven't really healed from both of their deaths, but one is more traumatizing to you than the other. I don't know how to explain that any better.
Oh, I think that was beautiful and well done. Now, I'm just going to take you back to the video we did on dreams real quick, Jill. Everybody in the dream is a representation of you. Everything in the dream is a representation of you. Every exercise, verb, any activity is a representation of you. So this is a real quick summary of that video. You can see it on YouTube. Just put in Nora Truscello, find the dream one. What does mom mean to you symbolically? So say to me, when I think mom, I always think love. Dad, I always think force, powerful. So that part of me that is love and that part of me that is powerful passed over. What does pass over mean? Well, to me, that means moving forward.
Changed.
So that powerful, loving part of me is moving forward. That's how I would interpret the dream for me. Now, those are my symbols for mom, dad passing over. You have your own, so you plug it in the same way. And that goes for anybody. Dreams are my favorite thing. Feel free to put in a suggestion. We have another dream one so I can get Chris to agree. These are a few of my favorite. Okay, anyway.
And I didn't get any hearts. I gave you guys some snow.
Okay, Chris Smith Cruz. Welcome back, Chris. We haven't seen you in a while. Do you see my 19-year-old daughter, who is a new mom, getting over this postpartum soon? Or is it something else? She has no interest in the baby at all, and she's 6 months already. Oh, that's so tough. I'm so sorry.
That's sad.
I'm getting a serious block. Like, I mean, give me a moment, because the block between her and the baby is so strong.
She won't allow her heart to connect to the child.
There's a lot of anger and resentment toward the child. So it's really the anger and resentment that's meant for the father is being geared at the child. I do see the possibility of healing, but not without some counseling. Exactly.
She needs some serious chakra opening. Healing.
Oh my gosh, that's such a great idea.
Give her some rose quartz. Where's your rose quartz?
Yeah, of course. I had them on my desk just the other day. Okay, I don't have them on my desk.
What's over there?
No, that's my salt lamp.
Oh.
Okay, so if your daughter is open to any kind of energy work, you could even suggest she do it to herself. So you move around your heart, working mostly at her heart, but I do feel a lot in the solar plexus
because she's angry.
Yeah, it's
and that's where that's where the anger's kept.
So she wants to move the energy in a counterclockwise fashion for several minutes, but you don't just do that. You do that with like saying the Lord's Prayer.
Right.
You know, asking for clearing. Now, I had somebody who I love, trust, and would, know in a moment she would do anything for me. When we were first learning this, clearing my chakras. And I asked her to stop. Something didn't feel right. Well, she didn't. And an entity almost got in. So energy work like this is serious. I am obviously okay. And so was the person who was working on me. But we were naive to the power of energy medicine and energy work. You do not do it without protection and prayer. So clearing her chakras, finding her a good counselor. God, you guys hear us say that a lot on this show because we believe in counseling. It is a powerful source that allows you to clear away these blocks, to open up to more intuition, to more spirituality, to more love. Go for it. It's fabulous.
A lot of times it's just like old junk that's just laying around, and it's just like cleaning out the attic. Nobody wants to do it, but everybody's got it.
Yeah,
it's like the basement and the attic. Every 5 years, you got to go up there.
You got to get up there and sweep it out and clean it out and throw out that old junk.
Get that stuff out of there. It's not helping anybody.
And at 19 years old, she's got a long life in front of her and a beautiful baby that can grow up with resentment and feeling cold and have her own issues, all because of this, or can grow up feeling loved, connected, and attached. Chris, we'll keep you in our prayers and you for your daughter. Definitely.
And your grandchild.
Shauna, I'm wondering who my spirit guides are and what their messages are for me. Also, is my grandmother around me? Who are your spirit guides? Okay, again, everybody has two guides. You got one from God and you got one from Satan. They're your guardian angels. Do you have animal guides? Of course. Depending on your cultural belief. American Indians have animal guides. Even some people like us who are not American Indians can request an animal guide or can say, I'd like to see my animal guide. Well, God will provide your guide in the form of an animal, because that's what you're asking for. So you got countless guides. We all do. Some of us have hundreds. It all depends on what you're involved in at the time.
Like I have a spiritual animal. I use the dolphins because when I used to spend, before my children, at least 3 or 4 times a year, I'd go to the Caribbean and I'd swim with the dolphins in the open ocean, and I could talk to them. They could talk to me. They never scared me. And the other divers were like, are you sure it's a dolphin and not a shark? I'm like, it's definitely a dolphin. And then one time, one of the dolphins like jumped out of the water and went, and the guy was like, So you can have spiritual animals that you connect to, and that can also show you different things within yourself that are going to help you to develop at a higher rate and a faster rate.
Okay, so Nidell has a very similar question.
Good night, Liam, my little buddy.
Oh, it's his bedtime. Good night, Liam. Thanks for joining us again. Nidell. Hello, is there anything you can tell me about guardians? I feel like I have someone around me all the time. Yeah, we always have our guardian angel, and we also have the dark guardians around us. But the one that you feel around you is a very strong connection with your guardian angel. Now, and there's another guardian around her, a very strong spiritual one. Powerful, right behind you, always up against your right side. Like she's pushing me on my right side to let me know that that's where she stands with you.
She never almost like your side.
She's female, but she has a male type energy.
Right.
So she's really strong and forceful. So it's somebody you knew. Maybe not. No, I'm here. No, she didn't know you. You did not know her in this life. No, you didn't. Sorry, my mistake.
But it's a past lifetime,
right,
is what you're getting.
Yeah.
She's telling me we knew each other in another lifetime.
It's almost like you fought in battle together. That's how powerful this woman is. So the one that you feel around you is somebody you can most likely trust. But again, you don't want to trust any spirits out there without first praying, bringing in God and saying, if this is the energy I should be allowing to guide me, I welcome it, but only through your will. If not, have St. Michael clear them out, please. Okay, I hope that helps. And Melissa, thank you so much for letting Liam stay up to see Chris. Michelle, you're welcome. I'm really hopeful that helps with your son, and thanks for joining the show. Let's see, Tina, the last year or so, I have becoming very calm thanks to the Lord. Is there someone helping me from above? And if so, who? The Lord. You answered your own question. And literally, that's what I'm being told too, sweetie. I'm not just saying that to be funny, but that is what I'm hearing too.
Yeah, and there's a female from the mother's side. It might be a grandmother, a great-grandmother, and she's just always there. I don't know that she's helping you open spiritually. She's just there sending lots of love and reassurance. But God's the one driving the boat.
Okay, so just a little bit more house cleaning because time is running out. We are going to grab a few more questions to remind you, just to accommodate our schedules. We are only going to be doing the show twice a month. So if you want to get be a guest, please make sure you get to the website and sign the little guest form that's on the website. Well, there's a form, just write in you want to be a guest. Send us some recommendations for shows. Would you like another dream show? Would you like more shows on energy? Would you like something on feng shui? Chris is great with that. I'll
And
sit
you can
here.
share.
Yeah, please share. Oh my gosh, we haven't told you guys to share because we know you are. We know you love us and you do share. If you'd like another show for children, we'll be happy to do that. We do have to minimize it because of our schedules. I recently have left my job just to start working on my third book and to get ready for speaking in Bangkok and for our show. This is my life now, and I'm taking it very seriously. So all my time is really focused on moving forward, teaching people about the power of intuition and how it makes a difference in your life and how you can use it. So I hope you join us in 2 weeks when our next show is January 24th. All right, let's jump back here. Anything you want to add to that, little, my dear?
No.
Okay. Diane, my husband is sensitive to spirits and until a few weeks ago says he was regularly visited by his grandmother and other deceased family members. He wants to know why they stopped visiting. He finds the visits reassuring. Aw, that's sad that they stopped. It's they don't need to. They don't need to visit them anymore, is what I'm being told.
They got the messages across, and when they need to come talk to them, have no fear, they will show back up.
They'll show back up. Here's the thing. Spirits aren't interested in communicating with us just to chit-chat. When they come, it's with a message. It's with a purpose. So
an intent.
There's a strong intent, and it's your husband's acceptance of his gift that made it easy for them to come when need be. And so what seemed like little visits to him actually had messages in them. I had a dream visit with my dad last night. He actually came, and I did not understand the message. So I went to Chris and I said, here's my dream. Believe it or not, me, the dream expert, cannot break this down. I'm like, I can't believe I can't break this down. But that was a dream visit. That wasn't that he was there physically. I mean, it was real. It was more than just like that dream state. And she helped me break it down. So if she didn't, my dad probably would be coming back a few more times until I got it clear. I have a great resource. She's just a phone call away, so your husband needed to have it more often. And he might have been struggling with something really big in his life that required the constant reassurance. Them not coming back is actually a wonderful thing. It means things are resolved. Anything else, or you go with that?
No.
All right.
They'll be back. Have no fear.
Sean, I had an odd question. No such thing. We love odd questions. I've been having a few medical problems with my throat and blood pressure. Do you see a quick recovery? No, I actually see your high blood pressure getting worse. I'm sorry.
I get you're not speaking what you need to speak, Sean.
Ooh,
you need to
Sean.
speak your truth there, my friend. And that's one of the reasons your blood pressure is going up, is because you're trying to make everybody else happy instead of yourself. I'm sorry. I'm not always like...
Yeah, we're not always kind.
Cherry.
I mean, I hate to tell you, you have held it in so long that even if you do start speaking, your blood pressure is not going to adjust without medication now. You've kept it off kilter too long. Now, I could be wrong. Remember, guys, we are not doctors.
We're not doctors.
We're just intuitively telling you what we're picking up. Lauren, you're welcome. And thank you for the compliment. We always love little thank yous, guys. Marsha, good evening. So glad you joined us again. Let's see what we have. Melissa Lawrence. I'm trying to get it in the screen. I am going to be able to buy a home property I currently live in. Oh, good for you. If so, am I going to be able to? I'm sorry. If so, when? I was reluctant to look at it when I first saw it, but my gut told me to. And when I did, it was the property I envisioned using one day. And we do love it here.
One day.
All right, us having one day. All right. Hey, I can't see. I have trouble reading, Anyway, you answered your own question, honey. But my gut told me. If you're not going to listen to yourself, why would you listen to us? Your gut is the Holy Spirit, all that energy coming from source, begging you to pay attention, begging you, pushing you So you have your answer. You put it in the question. You already know which way to go. And we wish you luck. Gina. Oh, Gina, it's always fun talking to you. This is a big one. Gina, Happy New Year, ladies.
Hi.
Happy New Year. I started the new job you guys predicted, but honestly, I'm not feeling it. I'm grateful for the opportunity, but why am I not excited or feel like this is for me? Oh, I can tell you why. I can't tell if it's my gut sending me up red flags or simply I want to do something else. What is this and what do you see for me moving forward? Is this where I need to be? I want to somehow shake this negative feeling. Honey, that you're where you need to be to pay the bills. That dream job is there. What's happening is you're putting your whole self into this new position that we saw, which I remember saying to you, you need this for financial purposes, but it's not the dream thing. That music, remember we heard and I hear them again, the steel bands, the steel drums. You need to be in the music field. I know even later you said it wasn't steel drum music. It was more rock and roll. And maybe it is steel drum, honey, because that's what's playing again. It's not one or the other. For many, many years, I've worked my job and I still wrote 2 books and I still got out on Facebook and I still created what I wanted. Now I'm in a position, thanks to really beautiful opportunities, that I'm able to just focus on what I love, which is doing the books and teaching. You need to balance both. And that's what's going on. You don't have to love the job, but love the fact that you have the job and it's paying your bills while you, in your spare time, which isn't a lot, it might be only 3 or 4 hours a day, work really hard on what you want and jump forward.
Yeah, because I remember this one specifically. We knew this wasn't going to be the love of your life job, but it was going to pay the bills until you got into a position where you could jump into that full-time love of your life job.
Yeah. And
so just hang in there and do the doggy paddle. You're just there for a paycheck.
You're going to get it.
You're not there to marry to people.
Exactly.
I'd be surprised if you're there in a year from now. I think you'll make the change pretty quickly once you decide to put your heart into it.
All right, sweetie. I hope that helped. Shauna, I loved your explanations about intuition. Thank you. And I can't wait to put the energy test into play next time I shop. Let us know what happens because it's great. I know
you guys can do it with things around the house that you're really not sure if you should be doing. You know, whether it's your food source, your medicine.
You don't have to wait to go to the store. Test it out with a candy bar and an apple.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to know right away. Is this going to be nutritionally helpful to my body? Put the candy bar right there and you'll see yourself move back. It's not psychological. And when I teach this to students, very often, I get a student in front of the room and I don't let them see what I'm holding. And I put it behind them in their energy field, just behind them. And I say, ask, is the object behind me good for me or not? Now, in that respect, if they move back, it's actually good for them because they're moving toward the object. So it's a little bit more confusing. Or we put it in a bag so they can't see what we're holding and we put it in their field. So have fun with it. Play with it. Everybody play with it. It'll be a great thing to find out what you think. Tavon, you make me laugh. We make ourselves laugh, honey. Thank you. I'm glad you're entertained by us. Where do you get holy water, Carla? Almost any Catholic church will have it. Most of them have a tub somewhere in the church, a container that holds holy water. And you don't have to be Catholic to go into a Catholic church and get holy water. They're happy to share it. Chelsea, last question, most likely because this is really getting late. Do you see anyone on the other side trying to reach out to me? You know what? We're going to answer that, Chelsea. But I think if enough of you guys, send us a message that you'd like to know how to be mediums, how to actually hear the spirits, it would be a fun show to do. Because most of you do ask about spirits on the other side. and we can teach you
I can have
techniques.
fun with that one.
We can definitely teach you techniques to hear them. So do you see anyone on the other side for Chelsea trying to reach out to me?
I see 3 of them. I got 1 young one and 2 old ones.
I got the young one. I always pick up those young ones. The
They
young
like
one
you.
died sad, though. Yeah, the young one was really a
Very
sad
fast and
situation.
very sad. Very gray energy around.
And I'm feeling like it's female, and almost like she's trying to reach to you. Like she just wants you desperately to know she's okay.
You need to pray for her, though, because she's
not over totally. She's
completely
not
transferred.
Yeah, she's a troubled
And the
spirit.
older people, I feel, are trying to help balance her and protect you so that her energy doesn't harm you.
I'm getting there to protect you, definitely. So,
they're on either side of you, and I see them as a protective agent.
Yeah. And we are so picking up the same thing. This is really strong. So I'm sure you know who we're talking about. Please start praying for that soul to cross into the light. Sandy, thanks for joining us. Hello, darling. All right, guys, it is just about 10 o'clock. Joel, thank you again for joining us. Haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been? Lori wants us to teach about meditation. That's another favorite subject of mine. And Jackie, thank you. Happy New Year. If there's any other questions on the feed, we will get to them. We always do. We love having you guys. And we just want to say Happy New Year and see you in 2 weeks.
Yep. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.